So it is a Transformer Tuesday today, and yesterday, I apologize, we were supposed to have a segment for the Transformer Slag podcast on Monday, but it was Canadian Thanksgiving, and I didn't expect everything to run so late, so I was intending to have something out there, but nothing came to fruition due to being very busy that day with the friends and family on our Canadian Thanksgiving. And yeah, that is a real thing. There is a Canadian Thanksgiving. So today is Transformer Tuesday. And first thing I want to cover is it's also Amazon Prime Day. So there's a ton of sales on a bunch of different Transformer and, of course, other Hasbro product, even some really new stuff that has just come out already on discount and slash. So if there is product you were hesitant on picking up, probably is a good opportunity now that a lot of it is on sale. Go check out Amazon for that. I'm not sponsored by them. I just want to direct people to cheap toys. And if you want to get more cheap toys and stuff, I mean, this is something we do all the time on the Transformer Slag podcast. If you're part of our Patreon and then you're part of our Discord, we have a whole section just dedicated to letting you know all the different sales across Transformers. Save money on your hobby. Don't pay full price for your transforming robots. So be sure to check out our Patreon and join that stuff too if you want to. Got to plug that, of course. But today we're going to talk about something that is very fascinating. And it's something that popped up on the Instagram account of Mark Mayer, one of the lead designers of the Transformer team. And what an awesome guy he is. And he did a beautiful photo shoot of the recent Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Magneous, the Infernac Universe Armorizer. And when we were first introduced to these, I felt like they were almost kind of avoiding the mention of the Rock Lords, because the reality is while Hasbro owns the trademark names and everything like that to Rock Lords and GoBots, they don't own the designs. They don't own those molds that were used by Bandai all those years ago and Plex and everything, and even going as back as Popey. That's all owned by that side of the globe with Bandai and rival companies. They can only use the names, and that's why we don't have like true GoBot homages today in Transformers, because they just can't do that. That's where companies like Action Toys and stuff license from Bandai. So I felt like all this time they've been kind of avoiding that. You know, okay, the mention of the Infernac universe, which is connected to Inhumanoids, and they have rock characters. And then, of course, Mark, during the Hasbro PulseCon, even mentioned the episode of Headmasters that had a bunch of rock characters in it. The episode, my friend Six Shot, and those rock characters, and how it's an homage to that. So I thought, okay, they're probably not going to really lean on Rock Lords, but they have other things they could do. They could even lean on, in Transformers Animated, there was these rock characters that Derek Wyatt put in. But this is like really the first time that they're really acknowledging Rock Lords, and it goes even deeper than that. So we have this photo shoot. You know, here's Magneous, looks amazing, great photography. And then on top of just having that robot mode and having the modulator stuff where they showed that, oh, it could mix and match with even our previous modulators like our Junkions here. And then showing, of course, the alt mode. So it's that rock car vehicle that's almost Flintstone in nature. So all that nice photography. But then they show you could even do a shield mode, which is really cool, but even more so, mix and match those pieces together. And you could do a rock mode, and they showed it in rock mode next to a Rock Lord, a legitimate 80s Rock Lord figure, specifically Boulder, the Optimus Prime, the leader of the good guy Rock Lords. So that was the first time they actually acknowledge the Rock Lords in something, and it's through Mark's Instagram account. But it goes deeper than that, because Mark talks about how he worked on this design with Ajima-san, and how it felt like it was always Xmas morning working on him. It was a pleasure to do that. And as a big fan of GoBots and Rock Lords and wanting to involve them in the Transformer universe and homage them, awesome stuff, as Mark always does. Mark and Evan are fans themselves. But it goes even deeper, because there's probably an intention for a future repaint or retool with this Magneous mold. And they showed a design sketch here of what looks like a partial of what would come from this afterwards. And once again, they use an actual Rock Lord toy to signify like what this would be pulling from. And we got this Rock Lord sticks and stones kind of color scheme going on with this partial repaint and retool of Magneous. And it's pretty crazy when you think about it, because like that's leaning even more into the GoBot stuff, where when you look at Magneous, he's a little bit of this and that, but he doesn't really straight up homage anything from Rock Lords. He's just a rock transforming robot. This Sticks and Stones homage, with a little bit of Castle Grayskull chest, I guess is the best way to put it for his chest, but it looks like they're trying to do a Sticks and Stones thing. And I mean, the closest thing we ever got to even something like Sticks and Stones, and Sticks and Stones is a character, it's a Rock Lord transforming character that has two heads on his body and they're always arguing. And we kind of have a similar thing in Transformers. We have Rack and Rune, and Rack and Rune, the closest toy he ever got was like a Cyberverse figure, unfortunately, which is like, and I say unfortunately because Cyberverse is always, you know, the mid-range of quality and gimmicks and stuff when it comes to Transformers. But we got a Rack and Rune figure. It was never repainted or retooled into a Sticks and Stones. But now we got this one here. It doesn't really so much have the two heads, but it definitely has the spirit of it, unless you count the Grayskull chest and the robot mode head. Maybe they're going to do that. And I love Sticks and Stones as a character because, you know, a little bit of trivia with that character. In the Rock Lords movie, he was voiced, those two different heads. Stones was voiced by Peter Cullen, a.k.a. G1 Optimus Prime, and Sticks was voiced by Frank Welker, a.k.a. G1 Megatron. So Megatron and Optimus in the same body arguing with each other on the bad guy side. It's so wild when you think about it. But it's really cool that they're showing this, because this could lead potentially to even leaning more into the Rock Lords and giving true homages that we would really love to see of these characters if any way they can. So that's really, really cool. And I dig that a lot because I love getting stuff right now that is so different than what we've gotten. We've had literally like, you know, I've said this before, like G1 at most was like 8 to 9 years, the original run of G1 from 84 onward. And I feel like we've been living now since like 2006's Classic started. We've been living in a G1 world ever since, nonstop, without really going beyond G1. And yeah, once in a while you got a Beast Wars figure and you got an animated figure here and there, but from the Classics first. But now we're really expanding, and you know, like I said, the Legacy United poster has no G1 characters on it except for like at most Windblade, who's a Neo G1 character at best, and that's fantastic. And now we have more GoBots, we got more Rock Lords. This is great. This is fantastic, and I want to see more of this because as a collector who's owned everything, it's just nice to be excited about something that's different and new. And I look forward to that. And I want to see more of these armorizers, these Infernac universe characters. And if we get a Sticks and Stones out of it, that's great. Could we get Nugget? You know, could we get Marble and get Marble done properly instead of, oh my God, like if you ever saw what Marble looked like in the show and what his toy looked like, this man needs an update ASAP because his toy looked terrible. So fantastic stuff. Very excited about this. Mark and Evan are just knocking it out of the park. And hopefully we see more of this. So let me know what you think, guys. This is exciting stuff as always. 2024 with the Transformers Legacy United series. We're going to get a lot of fresh things, a lot of fresh characters, and just stuff to be excited about, more or less. So let me know what you think. It's a great Transformer Tuesday. Go check out Prime Day sales and go get yourself some plastics. And I'll talk to you again real soon here on the Transformer Slag podcast, and thank you for listening.